everyone! Dun 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 dun. This is RenTalks! Yeah, do the talking here. Hello everyone, welcome back again to RenTalks! Yay! I know everyone's attention span is really short nowadays, but please bear with me just for a few minutes. I promise it will be at least fun. Okay, I'd like to start by saying thank you to everyone who watched the video, who shared the project on Instagram. It's really nice you guys took the time for that. I'm aware that most of my audience are my friends and family, but what could be better than having an amazing support system like that, right? Thank you guys! Now let's talk about today's project. For this project or projects, I went more analog than ever. The first thing I had in mind was that I really wanted to make a calendar, a one-page calendar with my own illustrations. Calendars are such a vibe, you can never go wrong with that, right? Still in the cute chunky vibes, a few references stood out for me. Those with the animals floating throughout the pages got my attention, and I was like, oh, I really need to make that. I love that animals can be any shape, and that makes everything so fun and playable. So I was like, oh, okay, so random animals, Pokemons again. And for the record, I don't have any pets, and the closest thing I have to a pet is my teenage brother, but I know who has a pet. A bunch of my friends. And I love those babies, and I love my friends. And that's today's theme, friendship. Best friends of the best friends. Part 1, illustration. I started by collecting some pictures of my friends' pets because, like I said, I'm not that good at drawing, and drawing animals are a little harder. And even if there are just a bunch of shapes, I needed to study their characteristics and their traits because I actually wanted to represent them. After doing that, I began to draw them on my sketchbook, and I wanted to make a minimalist illustration of each one of them. And to do that, I looked at some reference to see how people draw certain characteristics, because to draw something simple sometimes is harder. Like, Yorkshire is just fur. How do I make that into a shape, you know? So most of the shapes are round and exaggerated. Okay, exaggerated. And that's to bring some of the main characteristics out. Bringing that to Illustrator, I had to think about colors. If I was only thinking about making the calendar, like only the printed calendar, that would be okay. The colors, I could pick multiple shades of brown, multiple shades of gray, multiple shades of pink. That would be okay, right? But while I was going through some references, some air dry clay reference kept popping out. And I was like, what if? So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna make that, I'm gonna have to stick to a fixed color palette. So in the end, I had 24 illustrations of a bunch of kitties and puppies. I decided to make a whole body version for the calendar and a only head version for the magnets. To make the calendar, the first idea I had was a one-page calendar, so I put the 12 illustrations in one page, organized that, but I wasn't feeling the results, and the printing costs were just too expensive, so I had to rethink everything, okay? So I searched for some tutorials on handmade calendars, and I figured everything out. Part 2, the tools. I have a little experience with air dry clay. I made a jewelry plate for my best friend. It was Ghostface from Scream. I made it as a birthday present for her, and I had tools at home like a cutter knife, a ruler, and a roller. Oh my god. Since this was a bigger project, I thought, I need to buy better tools for this. So for the air dry clay magnets, I bought magnets, super glue, a set of 16-piece cuttings, plus a plastic roll, and Posca pens. I had clay, resin, and acrylic paint at home. For the calendar, I bought a cutting board, a pack of metal rings for bookbinding, a 3mm paper punch, a corner cutter, and a portable guillotine. And yes, it was all more cheaper than printing the one-page calendar, trust me. Hydration time. Part 3. Making the magnets. Since I had no time limit for this, I just took my time, I started by printing out the molds, and I had to feed a rainberry there, okay? Then the clay part was more annoying because it didn't go as smoothly as the girls on the tutorials were teaching, okay? Like, I bought the same brand, why wasn't it going smoothly? Oh my god. Like, everything was just shaking while I was going with the roller, Why? But I made it happen at some point. Then I had to let it dry for a few days. Then after that, it was time to sand each one of them to make the perfect shape. Now they are ready to be painted. First, I had to draw with a pencil to mark each color space. And then I had to mix some paint that I didn't have on my set, like dark beige, light blue, and pink. Só falta mais 200 agora. And the worst part, the magnets. I seriously thought that would be the easiest part because it was like gluing magnets, but it was so hard. They kept sticking to each other and I kept forgetting which side was the right one, but I guess it did end up okay. Then done! After 12 pets and 12 rainberries, I finished the magnets. Part 4, making the calendars. I decided to make a A6 portable calendar. I had to manually insert every month of 2026 and each holiday each month. And I made sure to put a patch of each owner in their birth month as a little Easter egg, as a treat, Then I printed it all out in a card paper, and now it was the time to use all the tools. then done. I finished the calendars. I made 8 in total. Yeah. Part 5, singing it to my friends. I hadn't told anyone while I was making all of this, so when they got this, it was a really fun surprise actually. I made a little package with all the items. They got a rainbow sticker sheet, a rainbow solo sticker, a rainbow magnet, a pet magnet, and a calendar. Isn't it cool that I made all of that? Like, so cool! I know they all liked it and are thankful for it, but I think I'm even more thankful for them, actually. Like I said, I don't have a pet, but I see how hardworking and loving they are towards their own pets, and I see how their cats and dogs love them back so much. That more than anything shows how good of a person each one of my friends are. So I'm really thankful for them and their friendship. And on an end note, this goes to all of my friends, not only those whose pet was part of the project. Your support, be it for my art, my mental health, for going out with me, going to the cinemas, going to work out, spending time with me. It's really important to me. Thank you, okay? And if you watched it until here, thank you very much. Did you like it? Did you like the little projects? Because it was a lot, okay? Let me know in the comments if you have tips for air dry clay. I would love to hear it because I have so much to learn and it is so fun. And leave a like, subscribe, share it with a friend, a family, anyone you know and want to have a good time. Stay tuned for next week's video. Bye!